We're ready to go.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
What do y'all want first? My name?
Yes, sir.
It's Officer Condon, C-O-N-D-O-N.
First name
Mark,
and your title.
homicide investigator.
Tell us what happened.
On December 3rd, about 3 in the morning, the victim was riding in a silver F-150 with some friends and cousins. And they went to a taco stand in the 5800 block of South Gessner. After eating some tacos, they drove across the street to a club parking lot called Bar Uno. They entered the parking lot. From what the witnesses told us, they drove in a circle a couple of times around the parked cars and playing loud music. And they parked behind a green 4Runner, dark green 4Runner. Very quickly, one or more of the occupants of the 4Runner shot at their truck, striking and killing the complainant. They also struck another occupant of the truck, but he just sustained a graze on the chest. The victim was driven by a private vehicle to the hospital, and the suspects fled from the parking lot east on Harlan.
Can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Nakeva Hernandez, the victim in this case?
Honestly, we don't know a whole lot about him. He doesn't have a criminal history, no reports in the system. He's a landscaper. That's really all we know about him. He doesn't have any immediate family here in Houston. He does have some cousins that he lives with, and we're in the truck with him.
What's your biggest concern when it comes to these particular folks who may be out there and who may have committed this crime?
Well, they disregarded any kind of respect for human life by just shooting into a truck. They had no idea the truck had tinted windows on it. There could have been a kid inside. Even though it was 3 in the morning, there still could have been a kid inside. Multiple rounds hit the truck. So they had just no respect for any kind of human life by shooting into a vehicle.
Can you break down how many people you believe were in each vehicle for us?
In the silver F-150 that the victim was in, there was 4 people inside. And in the 4Runner, there were, from what we were being told, were 2 suspects. Let's see, there were Hispanic males. The driver had a large build and was bald, no hair, and the passenger was wearing a dark colored baseball hat. That's all we have.
Do you know which person did the shooting?
No, we don't. One or both.
Detective, what's the biggest obstacle for you right now?
Getting some help from the public. We don't have anything else to go on other than a dark green 4Runner. There was no video surveillance of the shooting. No real good witnesses to tell us who these suspects are, no license plate. We need anybody out there that has heard these people talking about shooting in the parking lot of Bar Uno to come forward. They know that these people also drive a green 4Runner and frequent that establishment. We need some tips so we can solve this murder.
You said there were no good witnesses. The witnesses that you have, were they perhaps inside somewhere and didn't see
They
it?
were in the parking lot. And I guess what I meant by good witnesses is we don't have a license plate. That would help. Somebody that saw a face. If we did develop a suspect, could maybe pick somebody out. But
I see. They just saw gunfire and heard.
pretty much.
Right.
Gunfire, loud music. Maybe some yelling between the 2 trucks, maybe not.
Did they explain why they were certain that the suspects were Hispanic?
They were in close proximity to them and saw them. It's also a overwhelmingly Hispanic club.
Mm-hmm.
Did witnesses say how long the folks in the 4Runner, I presume that they were sitting there when this truck is doing circles in the parking lot? Any idea how long they were? Were they inside the club at some point?
No, they weren't in the club and they weren't in the parking lot very long, maybe a few minutes. They had just gotten there and parked.
The survivor and the other cousins, do they think they know these people perhaps, or any idea on a motive?
No. They ate at the taco stand, went across the street, were circling the parked cars, playing loud music, and one theory is the the suspects were playing loud music, and it was kind of a battle of loud music. And they got upset, maybe some words were exchanged, and they just shot into the truck.
But that's just a theory, but the suspects were playing loud music as well, you know that?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Some people said yes, some people said no.
Okay.
So we're not sure.
Okay.
And Mr. Nahira Mendez's family, some of them are in Houston, and they talked to you a little bit about him at all?
Not really. I mean, just cousins and second cousins and things like that. The immediate family is all in Mexico.
Certainly the cousins who are here with him, I feel a great sense of loss, and this is something that is a family tragedy for them.
Yes, they told the truth. The cousins that were in the truck did tell the truth about what happened. So, yes, I'm sure that they're sad that he's gone, and we're trying to help them by solving this case.
Anybody inside the victim's truck with a record or anything that as far as you know?
Not anything significant. They were, the worst thing that they did that night was play loud music from what we can tell.
Was there any evidence of gang activity around?
Not as of this time, no.
So from everything you know, this sounds like an innocent victim possibly shot over some music, but you don't know really.
At this time, that is what we have, yes.
Do you know the motive?
The best we have is battle of the music. I mean, that's really it right now, unless we can get some help from the public.
But you're hoping perhaps that someone hears that description and maybe can give you another detail about it, or perhaps know these people where you're at.
Yes, hopefully these suspects that shot into the truck talked about it to somebody, and when this makes it to TV and the flyers go out, they're going to put two and two together and call us.
Do you believe that more than one person used a weapon?
It's possible.
Were there any details as to exactly what music was being played? Was it something that could have been offensive to people, or do you know, other than the sound?
One statement, one initial statement that we got where the truck that the victim was in was playing Guatemalan music and the suspects were playing Mexican music. But that is not confirmed. It's just a theory, really. Not a theory, but it's one thing we were told.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Was it a newer model, Toyota, you know?
Yes, it was a newer model. The photo that y'all are going to see is just a stock photo. It's not, maybe not going to look exactly like that. We've also been told two different things, that the 4Runner had rims, but the better witnesses that were closer said no, it didn't. But yes, a newer model Toyota 4Runner, dark green.
Do you have any sketches of these suspects or a picture of the victim?
No. We don't have anything on the suspects, and the victim, we have no stock photo of him. He's never been arrested, that we can tell.
And the family didn't give you any pictures, any images?
Anything else?
Just briefly, you know, just to buy me a little bit of time to get a different angle. How reckless it was with this? I mean, for an average person at home that's watching this, you know, why do they need to be on lookout for these guys?
Well, a lot of people in the city play loud music. I realize this is just two people. It's a big city, but anyone that's going to shoot into a vehicle just because of possible loud music needs to be taken off the street as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.